everyone. Respected Principal Sir, Mr. K. Nagaraju Sir, Vice Principal Ma'am, Ms. Aarti Kolwar Ma'am, our School Nodal and Training Coordinator, Mr. Dinesh Chakravarti Sir, and all the dignitaries. And yes, of course, I would like to extend my warm welcome to the resource person of today's session, Ms. Kavita Pradhan Ma'am. I welcome you, ma'am, as well as I welcome all the members who will be there with us throughout the session. I feel very honored to introduce our resource person who will be presenting our presentation on the topic understanding gender and their relationship. But before we continue the session, with the special regards to our resource person, I would like to give a brief introduction about Ms. Kavita Pradhan ma'am. She has been teaching in this school since July 2021. She has done Masters in Computer Application from SMU University. She is pursuing B.Ed from Palhan University. She has more than 7 years of teaching experience. She played a key role in smooth conduction of class 10th and 12th of CBSE Term 1 2022. She has also qualified UGC NET in Computer Science and Application 2020. I welcome you, ma'am, as we feel very honored to have you as our resource person for this session. I welcome you. I welcome all of you. So over to you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your warm welcoming and praiseworthy words. Now, first of all, am I audible to all of you properly? Please let me know about it.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, I would like to welcome you all in this evening session. Honorable Principal Sir, Mr. K. Nagaraju Sir, respected Vice Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Aarti Kolwar Ma'am, School Training Nodal Coordinator, Mr. Dinesh Chakravarti Sir, and all sincere and dedicated dignified teachers. A warm good afternoon to all of you. I would like to thank our principal sir and school administration for giving me an opportunity to present my point of views and expressions on the topic understanding gender and gender relationship. Now I'm going to present my topic with the help of one PowerPoint presentation. So my topic is understanding gender and their relationship. Although the term gender, we are much familiar with that, but to be specific with that, I would like to ask you one question with the next slide. Can you see some words have been written in this slide? Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am, it is clearly visible.
So, since I'm going to ask few of the words and you will tell me when these words come to us first time we imagine about femininity or the masculinity. मतलब अगर कोई वर्ड इसमें से पहली बार हम सुनते हैं या हमारे दिमाग में आता है फर्स्ट विजुअलाइजेशन हमारे दिमाग में रिलेटेड टू मैन या वुमेन होता है या फिर बॉय या गर्ल होता है. So the first word I would like to ask, and of course I expect the active participation from all of you. The first word is emotional. What do you think? When the word comes emotional, male or female?
Female.
Female.
Female, ma'am.
Thank you. Aggressive,
Male.
nurturing,
Female.
dependent,
It's also female.
Thank you very much. I really must appreciate your participation. Yes, exactly. This is what we think about. The gender is all about what we think about, or socially we accept this term. So, if we go to the definition, according to the World Health Organization, gender is used to describe the characteristics of women and men that are socially constructed, socially accepted, while the term sex refers to those that are biologically driven. People are born female or male, as our doctor tells us, but they are learned to be grow as a girl or a boy, and then turn into the man or woman. Example, women are expected to take care of the family, doing the household duties and the work, remain close to their home, whereas all the men are expected to the work, they work outside, they go outside and they earn money for the family. So, there is a huge difference between the term sex and gender. Sex is understood as a biological term or as a physiological term like chromosome. We all are aware of it that the female body contains the chromosome XX, whereas the male body contains the chromosome XY. Similarly, there is a difference between the reproductive system among the female body and the male body. Hormones are also different among the female and the male. That is estrogen, testosterone, and the progesterone. But when we come to the gender, this is how we culturally accept the term. Like if we talk about the roles and responsibilities of the female, so female is caring in nature, they provide the service jobs, service duties. They are fragile in nature, emotionally weaker in comparison to the male, and inferior to the healthcare somewhat in comparison to the men. And sometimes and mostly they have to be dependent on the male for finance and all things. Whereas the gender, male is considered the roles and responsibilities, they are constructive in nature, they are defensive in nature, they are always try to protect others, and they are in the nature they are just taking aggressive in nature, highly workforce participation, and they want to be independent in terms of finance. So I hope with this figure I will have cleared the difference between the sex and gender. Next slide is society threats, means how our society takes the thing about the gender. There are three terms, that is patriarchy, matriarchy, and oligarchy. Patriarchy is the society where the society is male dominated, means most of the decisions are being taken by the male of the family or the male of the society. Whereas the term where the females are taking decisions and they used to rule over the society. Oligarchy is the term where equal participation of the male and female in the society in the decision making. So these are the three terms: patriarchy, matriarchy, and oligarchy. Next is, what is gender sensitivity? Gender sensitivity is the way service providers treat male or female clients in certain regulating facilities and thus affect clients' willingness to seek services, continue to use services, and carry out the health behaviors and advocated by the services. Means how we treat the gender, how we treat the male or female working in any organization, in a business places or the work offices, how we treat the male or female. This is all about the gender sensitivity. Now, why it is so important for us to reduce the barrier, to reduce the gap between the male and the female? It is important to understand. So, economic development about the male and female, the ratio is vast, big. Gender sensitivity helps to generate the respect individuals. Whether it is a male or a female, equal respect should be given to them, equal opportunity should be given to them. So the gender sensitivity is important. It is not about pitting the women against the men. It is all about providing the equal opportunity to bring them equal level. So here come some of the gender related words. First is gender equality, second gender equity, gender discrimination, gender inequality, gender gap, gender relations, gender roles, gender stereotypes, gender mainstreaming, gender neutral, gender blindness, and gender awareness. Most of these terms we are familiar with, but more or less we all look upon this as a similar kind of thing. But if we go theoretically, there is a difference in each of these terminologies. Starting with gender identity. This term is used to describe who you feel you are, means whether you think you feel you are a male person or you are a female person or something you are in between the male or female. And here comes the third gender, that is LGBT. where L stands for lesbian, B stands for gay, B for bisexual, T for transgender, and Q stands for fluid. That is, we all know about LGBT, and Q is the community of this LGBT. The logic very much clear from this figure. This is the male symbol, female symbol, and this is the third gender, that is transgender symbol. Next is gender equality. Gender equality means genders are free to pursue whatever they want to study, whatever they want to learn in their career, adopting choices and abilities without any kind of discrimination, providing them equal rights, providing them equal opportunities, and grow independent of or irrespective of the gender. So gender equality means that different behaviors, different aspirations and needs of the women and men are considered and valued, favored equally. This is not about means providing them or treating them equally, but according to their needs, we should always try to provide them equal opportunities. Next is gender equity, means the fairness of treatment for women and men according to their respective needs. They may include equal treatment or the treatment that is different because the men and women may require some specific kinds of treatment, but considered equivalent in terms of right providing, benefits providing, or obligations or opportunities providing. But there may be some confusion between the terms equality and equity. So let me clear it with this figure. There is a figure of equality and equity. And in the first figure, we can see that there are three students standing and they are trying to watch whatever is going on the sports ground. In the next figure, also three students are standing over there and trying to watch. But what happens in equality, we provide equal opportunities. Means we are providing the equal level of or equal height of food. But can you tell me, is that the yellow one is able to see whatever he is trying to watch in the sports ground? No, he is not being able to watch because he is already at the down level of the earth and thus he is unable to watch whatever is going on in the ground. But equity is now to get them in equal level, we will have to provide something extra. समता और समानता, इसमें डिफरेंस ये भी है कि समानता लाने के लिए पहले हमें समता तक तो पहुंचना होगा और उसके लिए हमें उनको कुछ एक्स्ट्रा बेनिफिट्स देने होंगे और यहीं पर हमारी गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी काम करती है जहाँ रिजर्वेशन सिस्टम्स वर्क करते हैं, कुछ स्पेशल फीमेल कंसिडरेशन किए जाते हैं. So I hope the term equality and equity must have been cleared. Next is gender discrimination. Gender discrimination is discriminating or not to allow doing something or not to let them do any kind of job related to if suppose if there is a girl, she is going to apply for a particular kind of job and she has been rejected only because she is a girl. Or suppose if a boy wants to take participation in a home science like subject and society or the family or the teacher or the school, they are not allowing them to acquire that subject just because he is a boy. So here comes the gender discrimination. So gender discrimination, also known as sexual discrimination, is any action that specifically denies the opportunities, privileges or the rewards to a person or a group because of gender. The practice of letting a person's gender become a factor when deciding who receives the job, who will receive the promotion, is the gender discrimination. Sometimes it is also seen in the offices also that the male persons are getting the promotions earlier and quicker in respect of the female candidate. So this kind of discrimination comes under the gender discrimination. Next is gender gap. But to explain this gender gap, I would like to have you watch one video also.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for coming to help us conduct this experiment today. We were of different ages, we were made to stand in line. Now I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. If your answer is a yes, step forward. If it's a no, please step back. Here goes. Ready? Did you learn how to ride a bicycle before the age of 10? Did you learn music in school? Did you take any lessons in sports? And no, video games are not a sport, even if it has the word game in it. Did you learn how to iron your clothes while still in school? Take a step forward. If not, take a step back. If you can make tea or breakfast, not just for yourself, please forward. If not, take a step back.
At the beginning, I think questions from one gender was still going forward and backward. Questions like it was funny to see like a cooking question. There were a lot of men who went ahead and there were women who were going behind.
Do you usually make all the household bill payments yourself? Do you know the circle rate in your area? Do you know the price of gold today? Do you know the exact breakup of your salary?
As the questions unfolded, the stark difference came out visibly.
Do you know the details of the financial documents you're asked to sign? Have you bought a vehicle in your own name without consulting anybody? Have you bought insurance policies unassisted? Do you watch or follow the budget?
Like you think you're doing okay, but then you think, okay, these are kind of important things that I don't look at.
Do you manage your own finances and earnings unassisted? Do you know how to invest in mutual funds? Do you know the difference between a mutual fund and an SIP? Do you make the investments for your family members or your spouse? Do you file your own income tax return? Now everyone who's in front, could you please turn around and look behind you? Initially when you guys started moving, there wasn't such a big gap. My question is, when did this gap start to occur?
The minute the question became about managing money, the gap between men and women became very clear.
The women handling certain responsibilities regarding their own life, which were always passed on to someone else in the family or
There was a slight unfitness I realized at that time. But at that point, it seemed normal. I was upset. I wanted to be at the front of the line. Then why did I do this? Why am I not confident enough to say yes, I am able to understand this? It was quite an eye-opener for me. Because I always depended on the men of the family to take care of my necessities and, plan my future.
I felt that the men are more into it than women. So eventually, they will expect the gap to be there.
For the years growing up, there were certain very traditionally masculine tropes that were assigned for him, and certain traditionally feminine tropes that were assigned for me.
For women, it's practically reward to learn to know and to focus on money. I wish I had known from the beginning of my childhood and I kind of thought about that.
Just actionable measures is what we want really.
I hope all of you would have enjoyed this video, and I'm being able to clear the terms gender gap. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Just make me know. Exactly, this is the gender gap, the gap between the male and the female, and this starts from our home itself, because we have been told something has to be done by the girls only, something has to be done by the boys only, and there also we don't let the equal participation of boys and the girls. So this is what the gender gapping is. The difference between the women and the men, especially as reflected in the social, political, intellectual, cultural, or economic attainments or attributes. Next is gender relations. The relations define how people should interact with each other, whether it is a male or a female, it is a boy or a girl, women or men, or could be the third gender, that is LGBTQ. How others relate to them depending on their attributed gender, and they should be analyzed within the cultural context in which they develop. Next is gender roles, means how it determines that what tasks to be done by the men and what tasks to be done by the women. How socially we accept these things according to their attitudes, behaviors, norms, and values. As you can see in this figure, men are especially considered that they provide the financial support to the family, whereas women take care of the house and the children. Men work as managers, construct buildings, and they are engineers, whereas the women are nurses, teachers, or the secretary. Men portrayed as leaders, whereas the women portrayed as followers to the men only. Next is gender mainstreaming. Gender mainstreaming is trying to bring them all the male and female into the equal level of the society. Mainstreaming a gender perspective is the process of assessing the implications for women and men of any planned action. If we are going to plan any action, we are going to implement any policy, how it will reflect to the male of the society, how it will reflect to the female of the society, including the legislations, policies, or programs in any area and at all levels. So there are four principles: gender equality, incorporating gender into the politics, including the women in decision making, prioritizing gender equality, and shifts in institutional culture. If the more female will be included in the politics, more female politicians will be there, then the more considerations will be there regarding the female. Similarly, when it comes about the decision making, we should always let our mothers, our sisters, our daughters to involve equally in the decision making. Now, the gender neutral. Gender neutral refers to the absence of specific gender. Means use anyone irrespective of the referring anyone irrespective of their gender. Like it can be used to describe the facilities references provided to the people without referring to any specific. Why to use the term husband or the wife? We cannot use the term spouse because the term spouse can also be used as interchangeably with the term husband or wife. If someone is married, we can refer to them like he is my spouse or she is my spouse. And similarly, some of the words like fireman could be replaced with the term firefighter, male man can be referred as male fighter, fisherman, fisher fighter, policeman as a boat leader, and so on. Next is gender stereotype. So gender stereotype is the generalized view or the preconception or the perception about the male and female. It is all about what we had started from where we had started this PowerPoint presentation. So females are considered as not aggressive, dependent, easygoing, submissive in nature, passive, home-oriented, easily hurt emotionally, indecisive, talkative, gentle, cries a lot, emotional, verbal, kind, tactful, and nurturing in nature. Whereas what is the stereotyping about the males are aggressive, independent, not easily influenced by anyone, dominant in nature, active, vulgarly, not hurt emotionally, decisive, not at all talkative, tough means harder, and rarely cries, logical, analytical, cruel, blunt, and not nurturing. So this is what we think about how a female should be described or how a male should be described. This is called gender stereotyping. So as we can see from this figure also, when we talk about the doctor, so first thing which comes to our mind is there should be a female. Or when we talk about the teacher, there should be a female. Similarly, when we think about any engineer or architecture or a manager or business person, then the first image which comes to our mind is only a male person. So now, after explaining all these gender related terms, I hope the what is gender is being clear to you. Now, since we have discussed all these terms, so now the gender identification of gender has become an issue, and we need to understand what are the roles. So, awareness of gender-based violence. Violence means harming to the person, whether it is a male or a female, but violence involving men and women in which the female is usually the victim, and this is derived from unequal power relationship between men and women. As the women are physically weaker than the men, So mostly it is happening in the society, like they are mostly getting a victim of this violence. And we are talking about the domestic violence. Violence is directed specifically against a woman because she is a woman or affect the woman proportionately. So 5 ways to end this gender-based violence are empowering the girls and women, changing the gender norms and social attitudes, raising awareness globally, means internationally, educating the boys and men about these all gender norms, and transforming, that is, judiciary systems, healthcare, disability networks. Now focus on school-related gender-based violence. Right now we have discussed about the domestic violence, but some are the violences which have been occurred or which is being occurred in the school itself. So school-related gender-based violence is defined as acts or threats of sexual, physical, or psychological violence occurring in or around schools and educational settings as a result of gender norms and unequal power dynamics between the genders, and how it is being performed in forms of bullying, in forms of sexual or verbal harassment, non-consensual touching, rape, and assault. Although both the girls and boys can be the target of this school-related gender-based violence, but girls are mostly vulnerable. So what is it? It could be in terms of corporal punishment. If you are going to provide so much of the harsh punishment, verbal abusing, bullying, physical violence, sexual violence, and harassment. Now, why is it a problem? It is a problem because it can affect the learning outcomes of the student. If such kind of violence is being done with him or her, he is not being able to pay the proper attention towards his studies or her studies. Also, they won't be able to achieve their goals, they won't be able to attend their classes even. And it will also lead to the health impact, means it can damage to their physical, mental, or the sexual health. Next is intergenerational violence. Intergenerational violence means if a boy or a girl has been victimized in his earlier age, means in his childhood or adulthood, when he grows up, and now the thing becomes like if I have been means these things were done with me, now I'm going to do the same thing, because they exactly imitate whatever is being happening in his or her surrounding. You must all of you have seen or watched the movie Madani Part 2, and in that the villain, he was so much influenced from his father. Although he was knowing that his father is not doing the right thing with his mother, but he influenced by his father, and he was performing the same thing with the other villains. So we should always try to avoid this kind of things in our school premises, school environment. Now, what can we do about it? So we should encourage the protection policies in schools, promote gender equality and non-violence curriculum, and teaching this. Engage youth in younger generation. Engaging youth means both the male and female should be involved for raising the voice against such kind of crimes and strengthening the links between the schools, homes, and services. Because only school can't do anything. We need to start this with the home itself, because home is the place from where start a children or a child starts learning. So there should be a link between the school, homes, and the society. Now, what are the six barriers to the girls' education? First is poverty. Although some of the government schools, they are able to provide the free education to the female child or the male child, but when it comes to about the public institutions purchasing books, copies, are able to buy these stuff. Because of that only, it leads to the cause of dropout rate of the children child. Lack of safe private girls only libraries. Now, when it comes about the sanitization of this, and when the girl attains this her puberty age, so most of the parents, they think that if proper sanitization facilities have not been provided to the girl, we won't allow our girl to go to the school. Next, gender inequality. Girls are often kept home from school to help with the family care and housework. Early child marriages and early pregnancy. If a girl is getting married at early ages, she will get pregnant earlier, and then it will become the one of the cause of the dropout rate, and the government has taken a very nice decision and the most appreciable decision that the minimum age of the child getting married, a female of now is 21 age. Violence we have already discussed, and long distance in the school. If the distance between the school and the home is too much, so parents are afraid of if there will be something is happening to her to their daughter, and this becomes one of the cause for the female child dropouts. Now, how to promote gender equality in our daily life? Why in our daily life? Because in school we can do certain things, but rest of the things we have to do, we always try to ensure that we are not providing any kind of gender biasness, gender discrimination in our society, in our home itself. So what are the steps we can take? First is share the household chores and the child care equally. Means if there you should always ensure that if the female is also being able to contribute in the financial support of the house, if they are also participating in the smooth running of the house, then male of the family or the male child of the family, they can also contribute in the household work. So household chores and the children's care are every adult's responsibility. Ask yourself if there is an equal division of the labor in your home. The work of caring for the children is not only the mother's side, but it should be equally responsibility of the male also. According to some studies, it has been found that if the female is overloaded with the household work, then it can increase to the women's mental illness. As 2 days ago, we have seen the mental illness and its causes. So there could be some bad effects on the physical and the mental health of the female. Next is watch for the signs of domestic violence. Domestic violence we have already discussed about. Now what we can do if we come to know about certain some kinds of domestic violence is being done in our surroundings. So as soon as we come to know, we should try to reach to her and then provide her as immediate help what we can do, and let her know that what are her rights and what steps she can take against this kind of domestic violence. These domestic violence are not result of only the physical aggression. Sometimes the verbal attacks are there, sometimes psychological abuse and intimidating effects are also done with the women. Now there is a very sensitive image, but this is the reality and this is what exactly happens. If a female laughed at the wrong time, if she has come late, if she has burned the dinner, if she has argued, if she spent the time with someone else, if she has looked at someone else, if she talked during the game, if she spent too much money on shopping, and if she did not text back in time, in the way, there is never a good reason. There could not be ever a good reason or any justified reason for doing the such kind of domestic violence against a man or a woman. So, next is reject chauvinists and racist attitude. Chauvinists are the people who promote some specific gender, or they always try to be gender biased. So do not make comments that ridiculous and demean and humiliate women, black people, indigenous people, members of the LGBTQI community, or any other historically marginalized groups. And don't keep quiet. If you hear some such type of comments, talk to your colleagues, talk to your parents, talk to your friends and family members. Tell them to stop such kind of chauvinist, racist, and homophobic and transphobic insults. Now, help women gain power. You can see some of the images of the powerful women in our Indian politics, and one more figure is there, that is of Kiran Mazumdar Shaw. She is a business tycoon and she is the owner of the company Biocon, which is one of the top leading companies who provides the COVID vaccination also. So the as much as participation of the female politicians will be in our legislative system, in our government, the more our country develops, the more our country becomes stronger. According to the 2017 data from the UN, Women, only 17 countries have the female heads of the state and or government. The overall average of women in legislative bodies is only 23.4%. So find out who the female candidates are. We should support them, especially women from underrepresented communities. In addition to politics, consider the ways to support the promotions of the women from the LGBT communities and promote them to take participations in the arts, science, sports, and other related fields. Next, support mothers and parents. Motherhood and parenthood should be supported. Now, how can we do this? So, if we see in a bus or in a train a pregnant woman is standing, we should possible, if it is possible, just leave your seat and offer her to sit. So, this is the thing which we can do. And similarly, advocating the installation of the children's changing rooms in all bathrooms, in shopping centers, in and other such kind of shops. Asking that companies guarantee the maternity or the paternity leave. Or suppose if a girl is standing alone at night in a bus stop, so if it is possible, then you should also come with her and so that she should not feel, she should feel some pain and not to let any kind of mishappenings to be happen there. So this means we can do from our side. Now how to promote the gender equity in school. Be a role model for your students. We as a teacher can only set the role model for our students because students learn a lot from the teachers and they learn from exactly imitations. Whatever we are doing, whatever we as a teacher performing, whatever we how we behave with the students, exactly they try to acquire those things from us and they will behave the same in the school and outside of the school in their family also. So as a teacher, we should be very aware of what we are speaking. We should have hold in our languages. We should have a hold in our words. And there should not be any kind of gender biasness. In relevant situations, empower your students to believe in their potentials to achieve their dreams regardless of their gender identity and that their gender is a strength, never a weakness. This we should not use any such kind of words like कि लड़की तो हमेशा रोती रहती है इस तरह के वर्ड हमें जेंडर स्पेसिफिक होकर नहीं यूज करने चाहिए कभी भी क्लास में और वी शुड नॉट से टू द एनी क्या तुम लड़का हो गया हर बात पे हंसते रहते हो नॉट टू से लाइक दैट इफ अ गर्ल इज शी हैज अ लाउडर लाफर मींस ज्यादा वो गर्ल हंसती है लेट हर लाफ ठीक है नेक्स्ट डोंट कनेक्ट द जेंडर टू एन एबिलिटी और पर्सनालिटी ट्रेट so something sometimes our language can reinforce the assumptions about the gender be aware of language you use in the classroom and avoid making assumptions about anyone's ability, profession, and personality based on their gender. Any boy, any girl, if they are willing to go in any, suppose if a girl is very good in math, so we should not say like that. मैथ पढ़ के इतना क्या करोगी आगे तो चूल्हा चौका करना है नॉट लाइक दैट और सपोज इफ अ बॉय ही इज वेरी मच इंटरेस्टेड इन द म्यूजिक एंड डांस और द आर्ट सेक्शन let him excel in that let the girl excel in engineering let the girl should excel in the science exhibition so this kind of things we should always promote in our classroom and not to abuse regardless of in terms of the gender specific include the gender equality in your curriculum. Now, curriculum should always be in curriculum should be there. Some topics should be there which should promote the gender equity and gender equality. Many textbooks are problematic when it comes to the gender. As I said, sometimes what happens when some figures are there. If there is a female, if there is a field of a teacher, always there will be a lady only. If there is a businessman will be only a man. So this kind of question comes to the child, see why it is like that. And sometimes what happens in the media also, if any show is going on and there will be the company secretary, so why the company secretary will be always a girl only? Why cannot be a man a company secretary? So this thing comes to the mind of child. So often they do not include many notable female figures, tokenize the experiences of women and stereotype gender roles in harmful in any way. So if you are able to pick the textbook, you use try to find out that is known for the equitable treatment of the gender. Here I have included one book which is the No Difference Between Us and you can see from this figure also that the boy is playing with a doll, and the girl, she is playing with the role of a doctor. So means if the girl is willing to choose any such kind of field, let her choose. If the boy is willing to choose such kind of field, even to play with the doll, let him play. So teaching children about the gender equality, respectful relationships, about the male and female, feelings, choices, self-esteem, empathy, tolerance, and acceptance, this should be included in our curriculum. Now, teach the students to be aware of personal biases. Anyway, we should not perform any kind of gender biases in our classroom. One of the best ways to confront gender discrimination in the classroom, gender discrimination in the classroom is by simply making your students aware of it. Let the student know what is gender biasness, and we should not use any kind of comments which is related to the gender specific or sexist message. If you heard something like that, you should immediately take action against that, and you should try to let them understand that we should not use that kind of abusive words for anyone. Next, what is the role of school management in promoting the gender equity and equality? Ensure the equal payments in salary, and the fair representation or the participation of men and women at all levels across the school, male teaching assistants, female head teachers, and other senior managers. Develop initiatives that promote young women to follow post-compulsory education and career trajectories which will facilitate higher earnings in the future. So suppose if a woman, she has completed, she is a teacher and she has completed only her graduation, but if she is willing to pursue her higher education while working, let them do, let them study more, let them develop more, so that our society will develop. And to identify who is becoming disengaged from the education and is likely to do less well and focus and develop support strategies to tackle this. Sometimes due to the family pressure or due to some other personal issues, girls are not being able to continue their studies. So in that time, we should try to find out what is exactly happening with her and let them bring again to the study, and we should not let them off from the studies. And challenge stereotypical either or understanding of what it means to be male or female across the whole school community, parents, carers, staffs, and students. So we should also try to promote, if there are the rural areas, so we should go there and we should make some awareness program so that the people, they will send their girl child to the school, have the clear and consistently followed procedures for identifying, reporting sexual bullying, violence against a woman and girl incidents. We all are much aware of some of the strict rules which have been created against the sexual harassment or the abusement of sex, and all we are aware of it. Gender sensitive schools. Now, how to become a gender sensitive schools? Explain the meaning of gender to everyone, to the teacher, to the student. Develop the gender literacy among the teachers and students. Understand gender relations and gender issues in the classroom, in the school. Develop the positive attitude towards the gender. Gender sensitivity training should be made mandatory in every school. Benefits must be offered in the rural areas to promote the girl education. Needs to be strengthened to identify if there is any gender issues in the home or in the society. Gender training must be provided for not only the teachers but also to the parents, administrators, and local officials. Gender sensitivity must be constantly reviewed by gender experts. Gender sensitivity counseling must be available for students, staff, teachers, and parents. So there should be a school counselor also who will look after all these matters, and time to time we should provide counseling to the male and female students of the school. Also there should be a team or there should be one organization who will look after such kind, if any such kind of gender related issues occurring in the school, so they will handle all these situations. Now, raising the children without gender stereotyping. Raising our children without any gender stereotyping, because the home is the first place from where we start learning. To empower your child to value and respect their own body and other people. Nowadays, body shaming has become a very serious issue in our society. So whatever I am, let me accept myself first and not to to let anyone else judge how I do look. How do I look? So same thing we should also teach to our child that you should not do any kind of body shaming or you should not make laugh of anybody. Now second is seek out good male and the female role models in your life and theirs. So a male child can have the female role models or the female can have the uh, male role model. For example, a girl student can make any female girl or female child student can make any male or the male teacher as her role model, and because role model is a person means like जिसके जैसा हम बिल्कुल होना चाहते हैं, जिसके ट्रेड्स को हम अपनाना चाहते हैं, उनकी पर्सनैलिटी से हम इन्फ्लुएंस है, उनके जो आइडियल्स हैं उसको अपनाना चाहते हैं. So irrespective of the male or the female, we can make anyone our role model in our life. Give them all the options for the toys and clothes and colors. As we had seen, we should not discriminate about the toys or the clothes or colors. If a boy he is willing to play with the kitchen tools, if a girl she is willing to play with the aeroplanes or the aircraft and such kind of toys, that's okay. And same thing applies with the clothing choices and the color choices also. Do not presume the sex of others, facilitate and emotion including crime. Both the child, either it is a boy or a girl, whenever they are sentiments are hurted, they will cry. So don't use that kind of words कि क्या लड़का होकर तुम रो रहे हो. No, not at all. Let the expressions come out. Swap pronouns in the children's book. If there is some gender specific references he or she, so instead of using like that, we can use the terms like they. So model healthy relationship between the men and women. Encourage your child to have male and female friends. We should let our child to play along with the male and female friends, and we can again create a healthy relationship between the male and female. Challenge, strategize and discuss with your child. Teach children that domestic work is a fun and it is important. Let the boy or the girl do the domestic work, because it is not the case like why a girl will always do the household work, or why if there is a boy he cannot take a glass of water himself. Why should he be dependent upon his mother or the sister or the daughter who is getting a glass of water for himself only? So let them teach, so let them know to perform some of the domestic household work, and it is a fun and it is important for their life also. Teach the children that DIY and practical work is a fun and it's important. Teach children that caring work is fun and important. The caring is not the nature of female only. The caring should be the nature of male also. So we should always teach them about caring. You can plant, you can have a plant and ask बेटा इसकी देखभाल करो, ये प्लांट अच्छे से रहना चाहिए. So in that way we will inculcate the caring nature among our children. Never use girl as an insult or threat. Never use any kind of insulting word or abusive words for anyone, either male or a female. Don't give a little girl compliment you would not give to a boy. So whatever we are giving compliment to our girl students, the equal compliment should be given to the boy also. Model dealing with conflict in ways other than the violence and aggression. Never to put any kind of violence or aggression. This should not be promoted anyhow in our home also. Means parents should always take care of this. No violence or aggressive behavior to be shown in front of our child. Do not glamorize the weapons or violence in the toys, clothing and things. So such kind of violence or the weapons, or we should always take care of what kind of video games are watching our child, what kind of exactly online what they are doing. So we should always take care of that also, and avoid heavily gendered children. So some of the TV programs are gender based. So if you are aware of it, this is specific to the gender, don't let it stand towards such kind of TV programs. Seek out female tech people and let your child watch them work. Means if there is a business related program is coming out, so and they are promoting the female, that means you do to the watch along with your child also. Facilitate and encourage the physical play and expressions. Watch women in sport, including the team sport. So women sports or the team sport that you allow your child to watch. This will enhance or this will promote for our child to maintain the gender equity and social equity. So with that, I am going to conclude my session. There is one more video. the gender equity in our classroom. Your video is all about that only.
Gender inequality is a profound injustice. It keeps millions of women around the world in poverty. Women are one half of the world's population. Yet, we are often denied equal access to health, education, and political and economic participation. It's first and foremost a rights issue. But gender inequality also significantly damages the country's economic development.
What's that got to do with me? I'm just a teacher, not a politician.
Teachers have enormous power to promote gender equity by modeling positive behavior in the classroom. Teachers often lose sight of the fact that if they have 40 students working in the classroom, they're working with 40 individuals. Each of those 40 is unique and special, with their own talents and with their own learning needs, and with the potential to be successful and happy if permitted and helped to do so. However, instead of seeing diverse individuals, many teachers simply see 20 male and 20 female. When teachers think of children only in terms of their gender, they start to make all sorts of assumptions of them, about what they like, what they're good at, and even what they should end up doing when they leave school.
I can promise you that I believe not any of my colleagues ever go into the classroom to discriminate. So how does it happen? Maybe Jen Myers is so deep religious villainous that we don't even recognize it.
She's right, John. Come with me, and then some of the ways unintentionally promoting the violence. This is teachers often sign off no gender now.
What's wrong with dance? Girls, they don't go over the dances and food.
Teachers also often ask questions in a way that makes an unnecessary distinction between the sexes.
What do the boys think? And what do the girls think?
Why would you expect all the boys to have one answer, all the girls to have a different answer because of their gender? We are your students. You know us. We are individuals. Research shows that boys generally receive more questions than girls.
Who can answer that one? Margaret.
Teachers often encourage students to believe that certain emotions are unacceptable for one gender.
Stop that loud laughter. It's not ladylike.
Okay, we get it. Now, how about giving us some advice to help us change our behavior?
Encourage both genders to recognize that their adult lives involve work, parenting, and housework. Make sure your expectations are the same for all your students, both boys and girls, and math, science, language, art, and sport. Actively integrate these students by making sure boys and girls sing together in their streams. Remember, when you ask a question, boys are more likely to fall out or raise their hands to volunteer answers. Girls tend to spend a few seconds quietly to themselves. So after you ask the question, allow 3 to 5 seconds before calling on the student to answer. This means both boys and girls will be ready to answer. Being aware of our
way we will behave with others, the way we will inculcate the value education we have already went through the session. So the values we are going to provide, we are going to create a such kind of environment. The way we will so we will create the value or the things we are going to teach to our students. They will exactly do the things in their future also. And I must say that I feel myself very proud of working in such an organization in NCS where I am getting such a friendly environment and the ratio of the female to the male teacher is also in very good situation. And I hope I will be getting support from all of the teachers and the administrations equally just as right now I am getting in the future I will be getting the same support from all of you. Thank you very much for listening to this entire session so patiently. Thank you again. Thank you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Really, it was a very effective session. And now, I would call Mrs. Nishad, ma'am, to give key takeaways from today's session.
Thank you,
Nishad, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Myself, Vishal Parveen, presenting the key points on the topic understanding gender and their relationship. No doubt, very tactically and technically, ma'am has provided us broad information on the topic understanding gender and their relationship. Ma'am has given a clear vision on gender sensitivity. Being sensitive is very simply but being appreciative of others' feelings. In that context, gender sensitivity is about being considerate of the opposite gender's feelings. The reason this is important because boys and girls think differently and obviously have varying perspectives. Man has given a clear vision on gender equality, gender equity, gender discrimination, gender inequality, gender gap, gender relations, gender stereotype, gender blindness, and gender awareness. She has also highlighted the different ways which are required for raising children without gender stereotype, like give them all the options for toys, clothes, and colors that they want to play. Pick out good male and female role models in your life and there. Lastly, I would like to say that creating more equal educational opportunities for students begins in the classroom and with the teacher. A strong teacher is one who treats their students fairly and creates an environment where students feel equally able to take part. Clearly, this informative session will help us to prevent gender stereotype and gender bias in the class. It will also help us to create a more equal and balanced learning environment in the classroom teaching. That's all from my side. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nishad, ma'am, for giving us the important key takeaways from the session. Now, I would call Mr. Bartholomew, sir, for giving the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir. Yes, sir, yes. You are it.
Everyone, I will opportunity for vote of thanks to our United program. This is our teachers. I would like to thank today in our